In sun-drenched California, perhaps the most environmentally progressive state in the Union and one of the most densely populated, ballot initiatives that would mandate more solar power and encourage the use of alternative fuels to curb pollution are being loudly opposed by environmentalists and industry.
With Proposition 7, we can get...
Take Proposition 7. At first glance, it seems to make sense. A mandate to make 50% of California's electrical power solar or wind generated by 2025. But critics say the measure is poorly written and has a couple of major flaws.
The proposition will exclude the small power generators that are important to California's electricity supply, things like what you see in the small wind farms around the state, the small solar fields projects. We're not talking the rooftop projects, but things that can actually feed electricity back into the grid.
Sue Catley, who speaks for the state's growing solar industry, says most producers are small producers whose plants generate 30 megawatts or less and would be forced out of the market.
We would have naturally wanted to support it, but the problem is that with the flaws in it, there's actually one additional kicker at the end of the proposition that would require that 2/3 majority vote of the legislature be required to make any changes. We don't think we can get that from this legislature.
Catley and other opponents say decreased competition would also lead to higher electric bills and taxes. But supporters of Prop 7 say that's a small price to pay to curb global warming.
This is going to cost us 3% on our utility bill by 2025. That's like a Starbucks or a coffee. This is not going to cost us $300 on our utility bill like they claim. Proposition 7 is a technology forcing factor. So when you create that market, the 50% by 2025, new technologies, better efficiency, cheaper, and over time, we're going to get to 50%. Because we really do have to. You know, Mother Nature is really a ticking time bomb, and we really need to respect that.
The other environmental initiative aims to replace California's vast array of gas and diesel-powered vehicles with natural gas or other alternative fuels by giving cash incentives to those who buy them. The man behind that initiative, T. Boone Pickens, who, not so coincidentally, sells vast amounts of natural gas and lately is pushing windmills.
It's all about sun and wind and alternative fuels, but Proposition 10 could turn out to be one very expensive ballot initiative. Pegged as a $5 billion bond issue, opponents say it could swell to $10 billion when debt service is factored in. This at a time when Californians already face a $15 billion budget shortfall. And opponents don't have the kind of cash Prop 7 opponents have, no money for television ads to sway the voters. But the opposition is both determined and diverse.
Donna Gerber with the California Nurses Association thinks the money can be better spent on health care and claims supporters of Prop 10 simply bought their way onto the ballot.
It's bad policy because it basically allows a billionaire from another state who has a vested interest in selling natural gas to hijack California, make us pay for it, to the detriment of health care, among others.
Critics also say there's nothing to stop trucking companies from buying a few alternative fuel rigs, collecting a $50,000 rebate for each one, then moving their current diesel exhaust spewing semis to other states. But some environmentalists are signing on to Prop 10, among them actor Ed Begley, also carrying the ball for Pickens and Company, former Burbank Mayor Todd Campbell.
Prop 10 is more than just vehicles and it's more than just renewable power. It is a plan for California to wean itself off of foreign oil. And I would say that with a third-party study, Prop 10 clearly demonstrates that it reduces greenhouse gases significantly, which is very important to the state. It displaces nearly 1 billion gallons of petroleum annually that will provide $3.3 billion per year in consumer savings. And on top of that, it will generate more power, 128 megawatts of renewable energy that is also a goal of this state.
On both sides of these environmental propositions, supporters and opponents are guarded about whether the measures will pass. But one thing is becoming clear to voters from coast to coast. More and more, their voices are being heard on pollution, dependence on foreign oil, and global warming. In Sacramento, Ed Crane, Clean Skies TV News.